Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on UppTalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say UppTalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
Talk about the deployment process and those things. Whenever there is a code change, you have built something you have to deploy in production. In that scenario, we'll be having two types of deployment. One is minor deployment and another one is major deployment. Quickly, can anyone tell what is the difference between these two minor and major deployment? Depending on complexity or complexity of the components getting deployed. All right, we'll talk about it. Minor deployment means you are going to shut down all the services. And only you have built some custom code changes like you have workflows, you have rules, you have some application. In that, if you are going to make any changes, those things are called minor deployment. For that, no need to build a WAR file, no need to replace. If it is a major deployment, means you have built some custom report or some customization, big one. You have done that which includes Java, classes, changes and all. In that scenario, we are going to consider them as a major deployment. Minor deployment means no need to replace the WAR file. This is important one. That is the reason. In the beginning only I mentioned if it is a major deployment, you have to replace the WAR file. Or else you can consider whenever you are going to deal with Java classes, you are going to build some custom report or wherever the Java classes is going to, you are going to compile, decompile each and every scenario. You have to replace the WAR file or else no need to replace, just import those files. We will talk about that. Lakish, can you list those examples of which all cases we would need to work for deployment? Like naming some examples like this change, this kind of change. We will talk about that. Deployment process. Let's say you have 4 servers. Two is 2 task server, 1 UI server. I mean 2 but done. Two tasks and 2 UI server in your environment project. In each server, you have to log in first. First step will be usually process only I'll start. Whenever there is a deployment is going to happen. Usually it will happen on the Saturday, Sunday only, like Friday evening, Friday night to Sunday. I mean before Monday morning. Each activity has to happen from Friday night. Does it require anyone to maintain or will it happen on its work? Again, that is a true scenario. Sometimes you have to. Manual deployment will happen and some automation tool we can use. Urban code, deploy some other tool from the scratch only. Monday morning, each and every activity has to be complete. Or let's say you have 4 server. What you will do basically, first database team will take care of the backup. Whenever a deployment is going to happen, Database team, basically, they will take backup of your identity, IQ, your environment, each and everything. They will take a backup if anything goes wrong that they can revert all the changes. First thing, after that you get an email from my database team saying all that backup has been taken. You can go ahead in that scenario. After that, you are logged. You have to log into all server. For server and stuff. Which services? Tomcat or database? Dat- we won't do database services stop or not. That application, database team, will take care. No need to do that. Just as a SailPoint perspective, from SailPoint perspective, you are supposed to stop Tomcat services only. On all 4 server, you have to log in and you have to stop Tomcat services. Is that clear? See, but I have a doubt like Tomcat, like we are not. But we are not. Your voice is cutting out. I'm audible now. When we are using the dev environment, we'll be using the development of the company, right? Right. Example XYZ and Tomcat. If we, like you said, we have to stop, then will it not affect others who are working? No, I'm talking about production. I should be more clear then. In deployment, we will do it in the production only, right? Lower environment deployment, no need to include these things. Directly, we can do the changes. Non-production, those are the things. These all about production environment. Non-production, you can make the changes directly. In dev environment, if it is a test, then you have to get some approval from the test team. You have to log into all 4 server and you have to stop Tomcat services. If it is 4 server, you can go to remote desktop connection, RDC. You can log in directly and you can stop the services. Let's say you have 18 server. In that scenario, what will you do? Is it possible to log in one by one? Will you do that or what will you do? And yeah, let's consider this is one server. I will go to start. I will go to services. I'm talking about these are the manual ones. Manual deployment. I'll open this service. I'll click on stop, which means from this server, I have stopped the services. But like that, I have to log in 18 server and have to stop. From my end, it's not possible to do that. In that scenario, what will you do? We have option called connect to another computer. I'll open that. I'll mention the server name here. Click connect. Second services. You can second server, second computer will be added over here. The second server and same. You can start select the services and you can stop like that. You can open 18 and you can stop the services. No need to log in separately. That's an easy one. Just right click connect to another computer. You can connect to the other server and you can, other server services. Is it clear? You will be able to access only the services page. You can use this in real-time scenario if you want. I have a quick question. Is there any company wherein a person can have access of all dev, QA and production? Can a developer? Most of the time, test server you won't have. As a developer, you will be having access to dev environment only. But if there is no resources, sometimes you will be having rare case. As a developer I never seen some developer has production server access. Once in a while, rarely it will happen. You will be having access. Once you stop all Tomcat services, now here you can say what you can do. You have to put each and everything like war file. Also, you have to put already based on your changes, or you have to put some text file where you have clearly mentioned what are the object changes you are going to do. Let's say you have made some changes in the rules based on the requirement. What will you do? I'll prepare one text file. In the text file, I'll mention what are the changes, what are the files, each and everything. I'll mention clearly. The same text file I'll import via IEQ console. If there is a minor deployment, if it is a minor deployment, I'll log into IEQ console. I will import the text file. I made some changes on the rules and workflows, whatever it could be. I'll import this file directly. If it is a minor deployment, if it is a major deployment, in that scenario, what I'll do? I will prepare up. I have to prepare work file. Now the SD will come. Picture. You can prepare a work file using this as SSD basic things, or else in automation where you can use the Jenkins tool. We have other couple of tools as well. I have seen Jenkins. In this SSD, using this SD, you have to open the command prompt. You have to type build clean first command. Always it will be build clean. What it will do? This is the command. It will clean the build folder. We will be having some build folder, source folder. What you have to do in the source folder, you have to copy paste all the changes, all the artifacts you are working. You made some changes. You have to copy paste in the source folder. And in the build clean folder, all the war file will be built. First command will be build clean, that you will remove the existing war file. Existing files including war file. And next command will be built for war. Something will be there. Exit. 9% it will be built war command only. What it will do? It will build the war file using source folder. In the source folder, you have placed all the file. Whatever the changes, configuration changes, whatever you made, like workflows, rules application, whatever changes you have made, including the Java classes, you can place under the source folder using this command. It will build the war file. War file will be available in the build folder. Far is it clear? We are using this command using the folder. We can build a war file. This is one. Using the Jenkins. In the Jenkins configuration, the same command like build clean, build source, from which repository, which branch we are going to capture the files, and we can make changes each and everything in the Jenkins. In the back end, the coding has been done already. No need to worry about that. When you are going to log in, you will have access to the Jenkins portal. It's like you have to log in into Jenkins portal first. After that, you have to select your environment for which environment you are going to do the production. Let's say clearly mention production only. After that, there will be a number of options will be there. You have to select build. Some building option. I mean to build the WAR file. There will be some option. You are going to put full build. That's a full build. You are going to select some particular build option. Only for particular branch. You are going to build something will be there. But always I'll select this full build that it will build the WAR file for each and every branch repository kind of thing. You can select. Always remember full build only. Note. After that source code management, you have to select from which source you are going to select. From which branch you are going to select the source code management. If you have access to Jenkins in your real-time project, you can check the only. These are the basic. This is going to your cell. The source code management inside that you have to select from which branch, which repository, those kind of details you have to select. And after that you will be click on build now. There will be button called build now. You can click on that. What it will do? It will build the WAR file automatically. No need to mention this. If you are going for manual one, then you have to use this option. Build clean build WAR file each and everything. The same. It will be mentioned in this Jenkins code. Jenkins is the tool where it will be used for automation. Automatically it will create the WAR file. The moment you are going to click on build now, it will build the WAR file. And it will be ready for your deployment. What you can do? You can get those WAR file and you can replace. Now we'll come to the question. If it is a minor deployment, no need to replace the WAR file. If it is a major deployment, like let's say you have a requirement to repair one report, custom report only have seen far. This custom report will involve. It's not XML file. If it is XML file directly, you can import into SailPoint. Some objects you are going to import into SailPoint and the format is not XXL. The format is in some different Java file.java. You have to replace the work. Is it clear? We need. If there is a situation where you have to import a part from XML object like that Java file, you have to import. In that scenario, you have to build a WAR basically. Because custom report will involve these kinds of activity. In that scenario, what you have to do, if it is a major deployment, already you have logged into all 4 server. You have to take a backup of all of WAR 5. You have to take a backup of WAR 5. What I mean, what you will do? Are you going to take a backup of the entire folder? Something like here. You will go to Program Files, APAC Software Conditions. Foundation Tomcat will be there. The backs. This entire Identity IQ folder, you have to take a backup. Oh, not only into the WAR file. Nothing. We will say something like WAR file, but real time. We will take a backup of this Identity IQ folder. The entire folder which you have created as part of the installation. You will take a backup of this file. Let me clearly mention, take a backup of the WAR file folder. Now all 4 servers, you have to take a backup of the WAR file and you have to replace the file. This is what will happen. Usually, is it clear? Once you replace the WAR file you can restart the services. Now you can start the services one by one. Once you have started the services, you can do the post-install validation. Post-install validation means we will try to submit one access request for one particular application, whether access request flow is working fine or not. Basically, first post-install validation will be submitting access request and we'll try to open some test connection. What we will do, basically, we'll try to open one application and we'll click on the test connection whether it's working fine or not. Something like we'll do that. Submitting access request. Testing application connectivity status. One or two application will do basically. To submit the access request in production, you have to get the approval first with IAM team or with your customer. You have to get that approval. Is it clear? This is how the deployment process is going to happen in each and every environment. From GitHub, right? To push the code, GitHub is a repository. GitHub to GitHub Urban Code Deploy. If you want me to explain those things, it will take more time. Can you post this in the chat? Can you post this in the chat? Definitely. Definitely. I'll talk about it. I'll post. You want me to explain GitHub and all? I don't know. If time permits, you can. If you guys want me to. Already I have mentioned here, right? Some repository. This repository and branch. This is like you have to use some other tool like a pike. Dot is svnan. I think the tool name. You can use that tool name to have the same repository in your local system. Using that, you can build something. A number of things are there. If it is a real-time product, we will be using some other tool called GitHub. In that, all repository file will be there. You can make some changes directly into that. That's a different scenario. No need to get into that. This is how the deployment process is going to happen. Here we have talked about Jenkins tool to build the WAR file automatically. No need to mention some custom commands, something like that. In that scenario, we can use the Jenkins. Now another scenario where the deployment, no need to replace, no need to take a backup of any files, no need to start the Tomcat services, no need to stop the Tomcat services. If you want to avoid those manual interaction, what you can do? Client will use some deployment of the tools like Urban Code Deploy. And some other tool will be there. These are the application. What you can do? You can log into this portal. Just click on Start. That's enough. And you have to select the environment. Which environment you are going to make the changes. Log in into this portal. Select environment. Which environment you are going to do the deployment. Let me mention production. What it will do. This urban code deployee already integrated with just Jenkins. From Jenkins, you have to log in. You have to build a WAR file. Just click on the Build the WAR file button. Build now. It will build the WAR file and already urban code deployee integrated with Jenkins. No need to do this. Just log in into this portal. Select the environment which you are going to do the deployment and click on Start Something. It will do the deployment automatically. No need to do this manual changes like take a backup of the file, replace the WAR file. It's not required anymore. Important one is this one. Major and minor deployment. If there is no Java class or some other files you are going to import in your SailPoint environment, no need to replace the WAR file. Because each and every activity, they are not clear what they will do as part of deployment. They will replace the WAR file. It's not required. If you are going to deal with only rules, workflow, some other XML object, no need to replace the WAR file. Just import into IIT console. That's enough. Just a minute. I will cover this. I will show one custom ruler how we can create custom tasks. I have already taken custom rule and report. Quickly, I will cover this one. Already I have a code for report. I have got it. This report will involve in the deployment also. I will talk about this report whenever the post install validation is going to happen. Usually we will try to submit the access request and we will try to test the application connectivity stages. The report is similar to this activity. We will talk about the custom report as well. And I will talk about this capability. What is capability? How we can control user SailPoint functionality using this capability. And I will talk about this form. Let's talk about this form. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.